time.
I know. Yeah, I got a sweaty little cheek.
Feel my back.
So we're just having a sweaty moment. It's fine.
JoJo finally confirmed she's dating Chris Hughes. JoJo and Cath were only dating for about 4 months. Now, I know what you might be thinking, that's not even half a year. And yeah, 4 months might seem short to some people. But in the world of celebrity relationships, a lot can happen in a small amount of time. Think about it. These aren't your typical 9-to-5 kind of people. They're constantly traveling, doing interviews, making appearances, and being watched by millions of fans. So when two people in the spotlight fall for each other, things can move super fast. And for JoJo and Cath, it looked like they were all in. They were posting cute pictures, filming TikToks together, sharing sweet captions. Fans were rooting for them and really believed they were something special. But just when it seemed like things were going great, everything changed. JoJo got a huge opportunity. She was asked to be a contestant on Celebrity Big Brother UK. It's a reality show where celebrities live together in a house, totally cut off from the outside world. No phones, no internet, no texting, no nothing. Cameras follow them 24/7, and the whole country watches every move they make. It was a big deal for JoJo's career. But it would also become a big deal for her personal life, and not in a good way. Because inside the Big Brother house, JoJo started spending a lot of time with another housemate, someone you might know from Love Island UK, Chris Hughes. At first, people thought, okay, cool, they're just getting along. I mean, you'd want to make friends in a house like that, right? Then, viewers, and even other housemates, started noticing that JoJo and Chris weren't just friendly, they were very friendly. And that's when things started to get messy. Their interactions were getting flirty. They were always sitting next to each other. They were whispering, laughing, touching. JoJo even started sleeping in the same bed as Chris. Yep, not once, multiple times. Fans watching from home were like, wait, isn't JoJo dating Cath? What is going on here? People started screen recording clips, posting side-by-side edits of JoJo and Chris. And suddenly, a new ship was being born right in front of our eyes. They were calling them Joe Chris and flooding comment sections with heart eyes and heart emojis. But here's the thing. JoJo still had a girlfriend. Cath was watching all this happen from the outside, with no way to contact JoJo. No texting. No calling. Nothing. Just watching the person you love get close to someone else on national TV in real time. Can you imagine how that must have felt? Cath wasn't just watching a show. She was watching her actual relationship fall apart on camera. And there was nothing she could do to stop it. But believe it or not, this was just the beginning. Because JoJo and Chris weren't just cuddling or being playful. There were real emotions starting to Chris about her doubts, her feelings, and her relationship with Cath. She told him she was confused. She even said she didn't feel like she was being herself anymore. And then, in a moment that left viewers totally shocked, JoJo revealed something personal. She said she no longer identified as just a lesbian, and that her sexuality was more fluid than she had realized before. Now don't get me wrong, it's amazing that JoJo is learning more about herself and growing. But fans were confused and a little upset because Cath was still her girlfriend. And this revelation was happening on TV, not in a private conversation between partners. In that moment, that's when everything really started to fall apart. But what happened next? Oh, it gets even messier. JoJo and Cath hadn't spoken in weeks by that point. Cath was still trying to be supportive, but she could see what was happening. She started posting cryptic messages on Instagram, sad song lyrics, quotes about betrayal, and emotional selfies. Fans could tell she was heartbroken. Then came the letters from home episode on Big Brother. Each housemate received a note from someone special in their life. JoJo's letter was from Cath, but it didn't say, I love you, or even, I miss you. It was short, cold. Some people said it felt like a goodbye. JoJo cried. Chris comforted her. And fans, they started taking sides. Some said JoJo was just being honest with herself. Others said she was disrespecting Cath in front of the front of the whole world. At first, everything between JoJo and Chris seemed completely normal. Just two housemates getting along, laughing, chatting, hanging out during challenges. You know, the usual stuff people do when they're stuck in a house with cameras watching their every move. But as the days went on, Things started to look a little too friendly. JoJo and Chris weren't just talking once in a while, they were spending a lot of time together. Like, all day, every day, always sitting next to each other, always whispering, always finding excuses to touch or be close. Viewers at home picked up on it fast, and that's when the internet lit up. Fans started shipping them hard. Some people were like, oh my god, JoJo and Chris have such great chemistry. Others were saying, they look so cute together. People started making fan edits using slow motion clips, romantic music, and all the best moments of them being close. It wasn't just TikTok either. Fans were posting JoJo and Chris pics as their profile photos, leaving comments like endgame couple, and even creating fan accounts for them. It was a whole thing. But here's the twist. JoJo already had a girlfriend. Yup, her name is Cath, and they had been dating for a few months before JoJo even entered the Big Brother house. And while JoJo was making cozy memories with Chris on TV, Cath was watching it all happen from the outside. No phone calls, no texts. No DMing, hey, what's going on? Just watching. Like everyone else. And just like that, things started to feel really uncomfortable. Because fans who had once supported JoJo and Cath were now torn. Half of them were shipping JoJo and Chris, loving the new drama. The other half? They were furious. They felt like JoJo was cheating, or at least crossing serious boundaries, especially in front of millions of people. Even other housemates started noticing. They were side-eyeing the cuddles, the whispers, the back rubs, and the way JoJo and Chris would sneak off to chat privately. Some even wondered out loud, are they actually into each other? Or are they just doing this for the cameras? Because let's be real, reality TV is all about attention. The more drama, the more screen time. And the more screen time, the more headlines, followers, and opportunities. So now the big question became, was this real? Or was it just for the show? Either way, the connection was undeniable. JoJo and Chris were hugging, cuddling, flirting, and yes, even sleeping in the same bed. More than once. Fans were shook. People were pausing their screens, zooming in, analyzing body language, trying to figure out if something had already happened between them. Every little touch, every little glance, it was all being picked apart online. And then there was Cath. Let's not forget, while all of this was going down inside the house, Cath was at home watching it like the rest of us. Except with a twist. This wasn't just her favorite celebrity or some random drama. This was her girlfriend. The person she trusted. The person she thought was in a committed relationship with her. Can you imagine what that must have felt like? To sit there, night after night, watching the person you love get close to someone else, and not be able to say a single word, no text, no phone call, no explanations. Just pure, painful silence, while the whole world watches your relationship unravel on live TV. Fans could feel her pain. They started noticing Cath's Instagram. Posts, short captions, sad selfies, vague quotes about heartbreak. People were commenting, "We see you, Cath. You don't deserve this." Others were tagging JoJo, demanding answers. And yet, JoJo was still inside the house, still getting close to Chris, still smiling for the cameras. Things really took a turn during one of the most emotional episodes of the season. It was the day the celebrity Big Brother UK housemates got letters from their loved ones back home. For a lot of them, it was a happy, tearful moment, hugs, crying, smiles. Everyone was excited to hear from their families, partners, or best friends after being cut off from the outside world for so long. But when JoJo opened her letter, the energy in the room totally changed. Her letter was different, while everyone else's letters were full of love, support, and sweet words like, "I miss you," or "I'm proud of you." JoJo's letter felt cold, really cold. There was no "I love you," no "I'm cheering you on." It was short, distant, and almost like it had been written by someone who didn't know what to say, or didn't want to say too much. And JoJo felt it. You could see it on her face. At first, she tried to hold it together. But later, in private, she started opening up to Chris about how that letter made her feel. She admitted she was feeling confused and unsure about where her relationship with Cath really stood. She said she didn't know if they were on the same page anymore. That maybe something had changed. And while JoJo was being honest with her emotions, which is totally okay, people watching from home started feeling uncomfortable because all of this personal stuff, it was happening on TV in front of millions of people. Then came another big moment, one that had fans talking for days. During a group conversation in the house, JoJo opened up even more. She said she no longer identifies strictly as a lesbian. She explained that she's now feeling more fluid in her identity, that she's learning more about herself and discovering that her feelings don't fit neatly into one label. And let's be clear, there's nothing wrong with that at all. Identity is personal. It can grow and change over time, and JoJo has every right to explore who she is. But here's the thing. For fans and especially for Cath, this wasn't just a random conversation. This was a major personal update about their relationship. And Cath had to hear it on national TV just like everyone else. No private talk, no heads up, no real-life conversation. Just JoJo talking about a major part of their relationship and her identity live on the show with no warning. People immediately took to social media. Some were supportive, saying, "We're proud of JoJo for speaking her truth." Others felt like the timing was off. One comment said, "Self-discovery is great, but Cath deserved to hear this privately, not along with the rest of us." And honestly, a lot of people agreed. Because it wasn't just about labels or identity, it was about communication, about respect, about how someone you love, someone you're in a relationship with, deserves honesty and openness, especially with something that deeply affects them too. Meanwhile, Cath was still silent. She hadn't said much publicly, but fans noticed she stopped liking JoJo's posts. She unfollowed a few Big Brother fan accounts, and her own Instagram stories? More cryptic quotes about heartbreak, trust, and outgrowing people. It was clear something was going on behind the scenes. At this point, fans were glued to their screens. Every episode felt like another clue. Was JoJo growing as a person? Falling for someone new? Or just figuring things out in the spotlight, not realizing how much it was hurting someone who loved Paige? So fast forward to the Big Brother UK finale, the moment everyone had been waiting for. JoJo had made it all the way to the end. After weeks of drama, late-night talks, and building tension in the house, she was standing on that stage, lights flashing, crowd cheering, cameras rolling. It was supposed to be a celebration, a huge achievement, but something felt off. Fans were quick to notice it. Usually, when someone reaches the finale, their loved ones come to cheer them on, parents, best friends, and especially their partner. But guess what? Cath was nowhere to be seen. Even more surprising, JoJo's own mom didn't show up either. People watching at home started asking questions. Where's Cath? Why isn't JoJo's family here? Is something going on behind the scenes? And then, the real shocker dropped. JoJo broke up with Cath the same night as the finale. Yes, you heard that right. Just hours after the cameras turned off and JoJo left the house, the relationship that had once seemed so sweet and strong was officially over. Cath later took to Instagram to share her side of the story, and what she said left fans heartbroken. She explained that the breakup came out of nowhere. She said it felt sudden, and that she didn't even get a real chance to talk things out with JoJo. No deep conversation, no closure, just a breakup that felt like it was done and decided before she even knew it was happening. But that wasn't all. Cath went on to say something that really hit home for a lot of people. She said JoJo didn't just blur boundaries, she bulldozed them. That one word, bulldozed, said a lot. It wasn't just a breakup, it was about trust, about emotional safety, about feeling like the person you loved crossed lines you never thought they would. Fans flooded Cath's comment section with support, saying things like, "You didn't deserve this. We're so sorry you had to go through this publicly." But JoJo wasn't going to stay silent either. A few days later, she posted her own statement. She explained that her relationship with Cath had already been breaking down, even before she entered the Big Brother house. She said that the connection with Chris had nothing to do with the breakup. According to JoJo, things with Cath were already rocky, and the show just made everything come to. Because if the relationship was already falling apart, why didn't she tell Cath that? Why didn't they have that conversation before she went into the house? Why let Cath sit at home, watching it all play out on live TV without any explanation? It felt like there were still so many unanswered questions, fans were split. Some said JoJo was just being honest and trying to live her truth, that she was in a tough spot and did her best to figure things out while the cameras were always watching. But others felt like Cath deserved way more respect, that no matter what was happening between them, JoJo should have been more careful and more kind with someone she had once called the love of her life. And let's not forget, Cath was watching all of this unfold in real time. The cuddling, the back rubs, the flirty glances between JoJo and Chris, the confusion about her identity. Do you think JoJo and Cath would get back together?